Hello guys, today I'm going to show you how to make this awesome landing page for a scuba diving center in Fiji. Today we're going to show you how to make this button over here. It's with a nice touch. You have the menu with a hover effect. This is built with Custom CSS. You got the request reservation and you got the countdown numbers. If you like this design, please like and subscribe for more designs. And now let's get started. For this design, you only need Elementor Pro. The first thing that you do is go to Settings and the page layout, change it to Elementor Canvas. Then the first thing we're gonna drop in is the container. We make this container full width with 100% width and a minimum height of 100. Then you go to Items. The containers inside this container are arranged in a row. And you want the element gaps at 0. Now we're going to build the landing page layout. We start with the first container. The first container is full width with 10%. The width inside is 10%. The minimum height is 100. Then go to Items and Element Gaps 0. Then we can duplicate this container and make the second container a width of 65, minimum height 100. Then we go to Items. This container, we want the direction in a column. We want the align items flag start, and we want the justify content also flag start. Then we're going to duplicate the first one again. This container, we make it the third container. We'll make it of a width of 15. Then go to Items and set it direction to column. Then the last container, duplicate this one. Also make the width 10 and you can put the direction off. Okay, this is how you make the layout for this page. In the third container or the second container of the inside containers, we want to make a different layout. So grab another container. This one is the first. Make it a minimum height of 10. The align items flag start and justify content center. Then we're gonna drop in another container so we can duplicate this. The second container of the second container over here, we make the minimum height 50 and the items in the column. Also the justify content, you can leave it at center. Then you can duplicate this one as well. The third one, we make it 15. No, make it a little bit bigger, like 25 or 30. So now we have 50 is 80, we have 90, we have 10 left. Because in total it is 100. The view height is 100. I can also duplicate the last one and make the last one 10. Now we have inside this second container 4 containers in a column with a view height of 100. I make the last one 5 because it's better for my design. To keep things organized, you can close all the open containers. And now you can see we have 4 containers, the 4 rows, and in the second container of this big container over here, you got 4 columns. You can see them like here. Okay, now we're gonna start with making the background. Go to your main section, the big container over here, go to Style, press Background, and go to Video. Then paste the video you like. I want my video to start at 7 seconds and the end time should be 80. And now you can see the background video is showing. The next step is to give the background an overlay. So we start with the first container over here, go to Style, choose background overlay. I want a gradient. The first one is this color. The second one is full black. And the location at 0. I do this at every container, so I will skip this for you. So now we have a gradient background overlay. I do this because the title will pop out more when it is a little bit darker. In the third column, we also want a Glasmorphism. So we go to the third column, this one. We go to Advanced, Custom CSS, and this is the code that you want to put in. And now you can see here's some Glasmorphism. To pop that Glasmorphism a little bit more, I'm gonna make it a little bit darker. So I'm going to change the background overlay over here. So go to Style, Background Overlay, and the first one I also want it to be a little bit more black, like this. Now the background is completely designed, we can start making the input for this design. We start with putting in a heading in the second container, just this one, and then the first one of these containers that are arranged in a column. So I have my heading over here, I put my logo in it, make it white, typography, not so what I use, and a weight 500. Then I want another heading, so I will copy this and I will put it in the second container of the second container of the layout. So over here. Then type here. Make it a little bit bigger. Explore the unknown. I want the font also a little bit bigger. And now I want to add in a button. Explore more. Then we go to Style the button. The text color is white. The color of the background, I want it transparent. I want the border the width of 1 and a radius of 10. Then we go to hover. When you go over the button, I want a smooth small change, so I make it a little bit transparent. You can see the text is already changing. I also want the border to change. So copy this one. Now you can see it's also changing. I don't want to grow effect, but if you want, you can here put in another hover animation. But I like it like this. The next element that we want to put in is the counter. Just like this one. The first I will make from 0 to 212. The next I'm gonna duplicate. I'm gonna style this one. I'm gonna style this one first. So style, text color, white, typography, of course, Montserrat, in of 4. Make it 5. Weight 600, and the title I also want it to be white, and of course the same style over here. If you go back to content, we want to change the title of it, amount of 5-star reviews, and at last, if you go to advanced, want to add in a border. So make it solid. I only want the border on the right, and I want it to be white. Okay, now we can copy this one or duplicate. As you can see, the next one is under the first one, so go to your container, this one, container, go to items, and direction, put in a row, and now it's like this. Make sure the element gap is on 0. If you go to advanced, from your first counter, go to custom, and make this one 33% width. The second one also. Now you can duplicate this one as well. Also, and now together they form 100% of this column, of this container. And now we're going to change the second one, make it from 0 to 12,248. Amount of dives we did. I want to separate it at space, so it's a little bit cleaner. And this is from 100 to 0. Okay, as you can see, the text is a little bit big, so I'm going to change that as well. Not the number, but the text. And make it default. And make it the default settings. Also for the number. It's better, I think. Now, copy, paste style, paste style. As you can see, they're all arranged at the top. I want them not to be arranged at the top, but at the middle. So now they are in the middle. As you can see, now everything fits. For the last counter, I want to change the border. So go to border, and I don't want a border over here. But now you have this nice separation between these countdown numbers. Now we are going to design the last container of this design. So close the first one and open the third one. This is the last one that we're going to design. It's this container over here. We start with putting in a heating element. This will be our menu. Open menu. Make it white. Typography Montserrat. And the weight 500. I want the alignment at center, and I also want a little bit smaller that it fits. Okay, go to advanced and now add in some margin at the top. Click on percent, 10%, a little bit more, 20% will do the job. Also, we're gonna put in some custom CSS. So we want the CSS classes to be named. This one we will call menu. Then we're gonna put in a divider. Over here, right? Put it center, 80%, style white. And I also want a little bit to the top. Make the top negative. Also, make the CSS class of the divider called menu. Then the next step that we want to put in is our heating. Oh. Maybe I can duplicate this. There's an easier way. Scuba diving center. Scuba diving club. Fiji. Because I duplicated, the start's already fine. Go to advanced and now make it transform. I want to rotate this and I want it to rotate 90%. Then go to layout, make the margin of the right min 80, so minus 80, and left also minus 80. And we also want to add in some top margin over here, so it will be a little bit lower, like this. A little bit more, I guess, something like this. Make it 100. Go to CSS classes and we will call this diving. When I'm looking at this, I also want to separate the letters a little bit more. So go to typography, letter spacing, something like this. Is that better for me? Yes. Okay, next step that we're gonna put in is our nav. And now it's under heating. So main menu. The layout is vertical. We want alignment at center. This design is for desktop devices, so you can put out So you can put out the breakpoint, go to style, the text color is white, the typography, of course, Montserrat, 1.2, 1.4, weight 500. Then when you hover over it, I want it to be a little bit transparent, and also the pointer. This is the same for the active version of it. Then I want the vertical padding. I want the drop down of the nav menu a little bit separated. Have a look at it. Yes, it's fine. I also want the nav menu a little bit higher. So go to advanced, margin, choose the margin of the top and make it negative. It looks a little bit strange, but when we put in the CSS, it will work fine. Make it -60. Now it's in the middle. And the last thing we want to add is a button. So this button is already designed, so we copy it. Then we go over here and paste. Now you can see the button. I want to alignment center, and I want it a little bit more down. So go to margin, percent, and give it some top percentage. A little bit higher. Make it 30. Yes, that's nice. And now we're gonna change the content of it. Make reservation. Before I forget to tell you, go to heading, this one, because we haven't changed the name. Oh, this one we did, but we didn't change the nav menu. So we call this nav. And now we're ready to put in the CSS. When we hover on this Glasmorphism container, we want the nav menu to be shown and the scuba diving club Fiji we want to be hiding. So we start with hiding the nav when you're not hovering it. So go to this container. Now we have this container selected. For some structure we will close the others. This container over here. Go to advanced, custom CSS. And now I have here my code written. This is for the nav menu. So copy this code. And now we have hidden the nav menu, and if you hover over it, it will show up. Now it's gone again. Okay, that's the first one. The second one is that we want to make the open menu in the Scuba Diving Club Fiji disappear when we hover over it. So we start with the menu and the menu with the divider. That's this one. Go to that container again. Custom CSS. And now when we hover over it, it will also disappear. And the last step is the diving. This main menu of the main title, I mean. So copy this CSS and paste it as well. And now we have our complete nav menu. It's really clean and nice when I want to go to some places. The pointer is a little bit big still, so I'm gonna change that as well. And we want some stars over here. So first, change the pointer. Go to nav menu. Okay, we're going to change the pointer. Go to advanced of the nav menu. Go to width, custom width of 80%. And now we're going here. Now it's 80%, but it's not aligned at center. So the alignment itself, make it in the center. And now you will see it's in the center. It's much cleaner now. When I was editing this tutorial, I've noticed that my screen video has not made the video of my clap block where the CSS is written. So I will put the complete CSS in the link of the description of the video, so you can copy paste that for your own design. The last thing that we want to edit is the 5 stars underneath this second container. So we go to the second container of the big one, then go to the last, it's still empty because we want to add in the 5 stars. Those are icons, so look in Elementor for icon. drop in the icon. Make sure the container where this dropped in is aligned center and the direction is in a row. Now change the star and make it gold, of course. It's a little bit big. Something like 20 is fine. Go to advanced and the width is custom. Make it 4%. Now duplicate this 4 times. One thing I've noticed is the stars are a little far from each other away. So go to your container, go to items, and element gaps, make it 0. This is better. Now update. Now click on preview changes. And this is how the end design of our work look like. And if you go over this one, you will see it changes and now you got your menu over here. Hope you liked this design. If you like, please subscribe and like for many more designs upcoming next weeks. Thank you.